The Thunderdome. Literally the Thunderdome. What is this video? What is this? Is it the Thunderdome? Oh, it's, sorry, Miss Lady T. California Love. Something to do with California. Listen. Listen. Listen, Miss Lady T, listen. Doors are open. Stuff's about to stop. Can't make this up. You can't make this up. Oh, man. Hold on. Alright. That's how we're going to start this video. Live time, real time, that just happened. Wow. So, if you've been following my story, you know that I had a loss of a pet. And it's been rough getting through it. She is with me in spirit so much, just like when my dogs passed. They've been with me in spirit. Different signs. Like my one dog, Diesel, and his name was Diesel. And when I see a diesel truck, I know it's him, or a big dog hanging out the window. That's my other dog, Sabrina. Third chakra. They don't want me talking. Anyway, I'm going to do this too. On a Monday, suspect as shit. Excuse my French. I have to talk about this because, wild shit's happening, man. So, 2 days ago, I had a friend from work come over, and we laid Oreo down in my little pet cemetery I got going on in my back, unfortunately, backyard. It was raining, it was muddy. I was trying to do it myself, and I needed help. Sometimes people come in our lives to help us. Karmic or not, they're in our lives for a reason. And it's up to you to figure out what that reason is. They may not be in your life long. They may be in your life years. You don't know. They're in your energy for a reason. Whether to test you, whether to help you. And believe it or not, I know karmics are like, oh, you know, it's karmic, nothing. They can help you. They can help you. Willingly or unwillingly, they can help you. And this particular girl, she actually took the heat for me from at work when there was a questionable skid, and they're just like, that was meant for Tanya, and blah blah blah, you know. And she took the heat. It was meant for me. It was for sure for something that I probably would have got hurt doing, but I would have asked for help to do it because it was a very large, tall skid. It was probably twice as tall as I was. No way I could have even started to, you know, unpack the skid and stock it without having some help or anything, somebody being around, because it was pretty tall and there was some heavy stuff on top. Anyway, she took the heat. There were some tears, not by me, but she just like, you know, she kind of stands up for me, and that's cool. So they can help you, karmic or not. And I'm not saying she is or not, but just she's helped me. Well, she came over the other morning and she helped me, and we mentioned a few kind words, you know, when we buried her and stuff. My little cat. And it's been hard getting over this, but it's not going to break me. It's not going to stop me. I feel stronger. And yesterday morning after this happened, I had to go to work last night. And yesterday when this happened, I took my nap. It was the best sleep I'd had, and I can't tell you how long. And I do sleep during the daytime different times. I slept a good 3-4 hours. It was a hard sleep, and I needed it. But when I woke up, there was this peace. There was this peace, and it's still here. This peace that was around me, and sorry if I'm getting my feelings a little bit. But people, I know money does this, money gets that and stuff, but Money cannot buy you love. I mean, you can try it, unless it's genuine love. Money can't buy it. Money can't buy it. Money can't buy peace either. And it's just like, thank you, God, for the peace that you put in my heart. It's just been a lot lately, you know. And that's what it's supposed to be. These are tests. These are trials to see if you're going to get through it. See if you're going to break down. And I had my emotional moments during this time. 'Cause I loved her. God, I loved her. I loved her so much. And I tried everything. I done everything I could. But it was her time. And I gave her permission. You know, honey, if you need to go, go ahead and let go. Mommy's okay. Mommy will be all right. And she did a few hours later after I said that. Cried it out. Came back stronger. Went to work that night. And I gotta flip through pages here because I wrote this down yesterday. And this is how I know people watch me. Because this is ironic. This is ironic as crap. I didn't go in ever, you know, people knew at work what was going on. Because I had left work early the night before she had passed. And we had time, and I got to lay with her. And she, you know, I laid her on my chest. And we laid there for a little while. And I prayed for her and stuff. And I got to work. And within an hour, you know, we're stalking. And one of my coworkers come by. Hey! This person's always kind of upbeat and kind of, you know, wired for sound, kind of. Hey, do you watch the Zack and Cody? Did you ever watch Zack and Cody? Sitcom, I guess, or whatever. I've heard of it. I don't know. I've never watched it. They had this episode on, and it was about a yo-yo. You know, yo-yo? Yo. And my cat's name was Oreo. And I used to go around and say, don't mess with my yo-yo. And that yo-yo. And that's how I would say her name a lot of times. Meow, you know. Very pretty, very petite. She had like a little Marilyn Monroe dot on her lip. Pink lips. Cutest, prettiest cat. Just gorgeous. I always told her that. And I always called her Yo-Yo a lot of times. If I didn't call her Oreo, I was like, Yo-Yo. You know, and she'd get all excited and, you know, sway her tail and stuff. But he's like, yeah. He goes, it was a yo-yo contest. And oh, yeah, haha. Are you doing okay? Are you doing okay? It was almost like to trigger me. And there was a couple moments I'd get teary-eyed, but no breakdown. No, you know, they feed off that shit. They feed off that shit. They feed off that shit like a vampire seeing blood. It's like, ooh, what is that? Emotions? What is that? You're gonna cry? What's that? You're gonna get angry? No and no. But yeah, and I'm just like, and I'm very, very tapped in. And my animals will talk to me, and I've had animals in the spirit realm talk to me. You know, you've heard about pet psychics and stuff, and it's a thought. But I heard in the back of my head, and I hadn't laid her down to rest yet, you know. It was the next day when I laid her down to rest. But I'm just like, I heard in the back of my mind, God, Mom, he's a dick. I'm like, Oreo. I'm like, honey, it's okay. They're just trying to trigger me. It's okay. You know, and I heard it like she was talking to me, like she was in my ear. Mommy, she's just like, he's a dick. And I'm just like, Oreo, don't talk like that. Don't call him names. But it was kind of a dicky thing to say, you know, but I'm like, maybe he knew, maybe he didn't know. Don't know. Maybe it was her way of coming through. I don't know. But it was just, okay. So I went on working, you know, the night, got into my aisle, and I stocked the cereal aisle most of the time. And we do have a cereal called Oreo Puffs. Of course, I got 2 boxes in of Oreo Puffs, and I'm like, love you, baby. And what is funny is I was stocking this, and I'd never seen this sign held, and there's signs, like magnetic signs underneath the shelf of different, you know, things, underneath things. And I'd never seen this in my aisle until I came into work that night. And it's bolted in, it's not a magnet, this is a bolted in sign. And it's a sign, and it's got like a little basket with pamphlets in it. And this is kind of funny. It's cute, but it's kind of funny. Dr. Dre, I need a doctor. these pamphlets that says, have allergy? Do you have a nut allergy? And I start cracking up because I'm just like, because she was my little girl, and she, little boys have ever been around her. And I'm like, she did have a nut allergy. She didn't like boys. She didn't like girls. Just stay away from her. She was pretty. She knew she was pretty, and she just, that kind of cat. If you pet her, you better have her permission to pet her, or she will scratch you or bite you. She had a little attitude. She had a little attitude sometimes. Need a doctor. Funny. Playing YouTube music is just going on different things. But I had to laugh because I'm like, Oreo, you're silly. But I'm stocking this Oreo Puffs, and it kind of got my feelings. And everybody at work, here and there, was asking me, you doing okay? You all right? And a couple of them gave me hugs and stuff. Thank you. Sorry about what happened. Thanks. It's like, I know it's a pet, but sometimes they're like family. They're really like family. Oh, it's a wedding one. Somebody's still getting married. I don't know who. I don't know how you you go from single to married, but you watch it. It's gonna happen. Not sure who. Don't know. Not sure. There's no money in my life, but you never know. Anyway, so I get to that point, and I go down the line, and it's like in the middle of my aisle. So it's usually about a half hour or so before I get to that section. But I noticed there's a couple boxes. And people were asking me, hey, I'm sorry. They're like, hey, doing okay? And I'm like, yeah, until I get to the Oreo Puffs. Then I might, break down. I don't know. Right before I got there, a coworker comes by. And they got cameras everywhere. I know this. They got cameras everywhere. And sure enough, somebody walked by my aisle. And usually we're mostly alone most of the night. We stock our stuff unless the manager has something else for you to do or tells you to speed up or, whatever. They're not going to tell you to slow down. 55 boxes an hour. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. But anyway, right before I get to that section, how you doing, Tanya? You doing okay? Coworker comes up. Yeah, I'm doing okay. It was right before I got to that section. I'm like, okay. Then a manager come up, like general manager, kind of, the boss or whatever. And we got to talk. We talked about 20 minutes about everything and about everything's going on and stuff. And then I cut myself right after I talked to him. Of course, it's not unusual to cut yourself or get hurt, scraped up by a box or whatever. Never by a knife. It's usually by a box. And this was by a box, going into it, breaking them down, and they'll scrape you and stuff. I wear gloves and stuff, but still, it happens. And I started coughing. Coughing is significant. I almost forgot about this. After he walked away, and we talked probably about 15 minutes. He was telling me about some pets he had lost and how, it was like family to him. And, it's like, because I cried. I was like, yeah, I know, man. I said, it sucks. He's like, well, hang in there, I'm like, I will. But right after, I started coughing. Like coughing for a good 3 or 4 minutes, just coughing. Got me a drink, calmed down. Coughing is significant. The energy wasn't matching my energy. Not saying anything bad about this person. But energy doesn't lie. You cannot mask energy. You can try it, but it's not going to last because you have the Most High's power. You're gifted. You have discernment. You know things. Okay? But I started coughing. It was weird. Just throwing that in there. Weird energy. Night went on. Got to the morning. I'm doing okay. No breakdowns, no crying spells, nothing like that. And a woman from another department comes over. Yeah, she goes, I need to get some cereal for my grandson. And so next to the Oreo cereal is s'mores cereal. And she's picked up a box of s'mores. She goes, oh, let me get a couple boxes of the Oreos because they're on sale for like $1.99. They're cheap right now. They're on sale. So she picks up a couple boxes of box of Oreo. She loves these Oreos. They love this Oreo cereal. Thank you, Oreo. I know you're watching over me. It's her way of coming through. Trying to comfort you. But she's okay. Seen a cloud up in the sky, too. It looked like a cat. And some people be like, oh, you're feeding into it too much. You just got to be awake. You got to be awake and aware. These animals will come through. They're not here in body, but they're here in spirit. But, yeah, coughing. Oreo. I wrote everything down. I got to write things down. But, yeah, got through it. And, oh, last night I went to work, and there was a reflective vest in the bathroom. Like somebody took it off and just laid it down. I left it there. Like a reflective vest. Caution. It's caution. They're watching you. They're watching you. They want you to break down. They want you to lose your shit. As always, whatever. If you're healed, you can get through it. I prayed hard, and God is getting me through it. Somebody's going to be in a car accident. Somebody's going to be in a car accident. I get these things through, and sorry if they're random, and sorry. And then we seen the ambulance, 2 ambulances drive by. And since my cat, but maybe, you know, I don't know. But yeah. One is stronger than the other. One person is stronger than the other. And it was ironic, too, because I was training 2 people, or a person, probably about a week and a half ago, and it was sisters. They called them twin sisters, but they was a few years apart. But my cats were sisters, and my sister passed in February. Cat's sister passed 2 days ago. And I was training a person at their sister was working the same night or whatever. They only worked one night. It didn't work out. They didn't like the job. They never came back. Sisters are significant. So if you have a sister, it's significant. Good or bad, it's significant. But yeah, just it's craziness. But I don't know if you... and they don't like me talking about this. I know I post little videos and shorts all the time. And everybody looks at their views to make sure people are watching it. I know people watch this. It may not register. I know there's somebody at YouTube. I never made a dime off YouTube. I do this from the love of my heart and to get the word out there about God and Jesus. Still have them. Always. Spirit, this I know this is a little toy or whatever, but I keep it around. When I set up by my cat when she was going through a thing, and he was there when she passed. I know, I firmly believe it. Got my heart lit up. Heart. Oh, what's this one? Glitter band, glitter rock and roll. Is that na 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 na? Oh, yeah. But yeah, I've seen a series of like 3s. Both my dogs and my cat. And she's flying now. Because I used to call her Angel Without Wings. Well, she got her wings. Oh, I love you, Oreo. I miss you, girl. I do. I miss you. But I'm healing. I'm getting through this. And I just want to be on here and let people know you can get through a lot of shit. Things you didn't think you could get through, you'll get through. God will get you through it. God will get you through it. And it's a hard time right now, but I'm getting through it. And as always, I'm blessed. And blessed to have the healing in me and this peace. I didn't have to pay for it. I didn't have to buy it. She was only sick 3 days. Sick 3 days. 3 days. 3 significant. And I was on care credit, trying to apply for credit, trying to see if I can get money to go to the vet, you know, take her to the vet. She went quick. So, and nothing I could get a hold of till like today, Monday, but this was like Friday when she got sick. So, yeah, it was meant to be, and I'm just like, you know, if it's meant to be, I will heal from it and keep going. Level up. And these level ups, they can be a little rough, and I've talked about these before. When you level up, sometimes it's like landing a plane. It's not always not always smooth, but you get there. And since then, I've been at peace. And I've done some stuff today I don't usually do. I kind of been in limbo mode for about a month because I've just been taking care of my animals and concentrating on, making sure they're eating, making sure stuff, the litter box is cleaned, that stuff, I even had a thing of Oreo cookies to help her. I threw them away. I think I ate like a row of them for like 2 days or something, but throw them away. Those Oreos. No, I'm trying to help her. And that might sound a little juvenile, but it was in my mind, just like, no, I'm not going to eat my Oreo. Oreo cookies. But anyway, Miss Lady, like, share, subscribe. Hang in there if you're going through something. I'll pray for you. You pray for me. And just know people out there watching, good people and bad people. And some people are put in your life for things. And I just wanted to reach out to old girl that I work with. Thank you. And maybe our energies aren't the same, but she was there and she helped me. And she helped me dig this hole. And she helped me say a prayer over the, after we got her buried and stuff. And I said some things, she said some things, and we talked for a little while and stuff. But I thank God for her putting her in my path. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it together. But another thing. On a Monday. So I know I'm being tested and trialed and seeing if I'm going to break down or I'm going to lose my faith or I'm going to go back to my old ways or, I got to go do the most. Got to go do extra because I'm hurting inside. It's okay. You'll heal. And I was telling old girl a couple things about goings on in my neighborhood. I'm just allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. And I talked about this yesterday or the other day. And I said, weirdest thing. I said, my neighbors have this random car that I'm not. Come. They're up to no. I said, neighbors, and listen. I said neighbors, and then that happened. What's going on? Anyway, I gotta go outside and show you. As you see, I'll just do that real quick. Not saying nothing, but saying something. G.I. Joe is back. G.I. Joe's been hanging around a lot lately, but people's been out of town. And all of a sudden, and I was telling a girl about this. It's weird shit. I look over today, and I'm watching, and I'm like, G.I. Joe's back. It's in the car. And I'm like, you think you're crazy? He's on. Crazy. It's by, CeeLo Green. Gnarls Barkley, crazy. Crazy, just like, yeah. But, and that's what they're saying about you, that you're crazy. You're not crazy. You're just tapped in. You're tapped in, fully tapped in, dude. Your third eye is lit up like a diamond. Diamond. A lot of pressure to make a diamond. It takes a lot of pressure to make a diamond. That's significant. But yeah, G.I. Joe is back on a Monday. I seen them partying on the week. Maybe they drink or something. I don't know what they do. I don't know. I don't care. I mean, and they care what I do because they're always hanging out there. Who's there? Who's going on? What's over? Kind of always staring at me. Neighbors can be. Whatever. I don't care. Whatever. But yeah, G.I. Joe's back on a Monday? That's weird. Kind of correlates with my days off. Maybe they're sending spell work. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're trying to see if you're going to break. Maybe you don't. Anyway, on a Monday? Confirmation. Anyway, you heard the sirens. You heard the sounds. I don't know. Not sure. It's an ambulance, so. And I said neighbor. I don't know, allegedly. And this is just stuff I pick up as I'm talking, as I'm going through the things in my life, and that stuff will happen, and that is very significant. Anyway, Miss Lady T, like, share, subscribe. Bye.